Morning peeps, good morning everyone. How's everyone doing? Hopefully you guys are all doing well. Don't forget, if you're new to the channel, like, share, subscribe. Also, don't forget, if you're a football fan, which I know a lot of you are, to subscribe to my football channel, Ade Oladipo Talks Football. Link is in the description. Loads of content being added to that channel daily. We are trying to get to 5,000 subscribers. We're nearly there already. So thank you so much to everyone that has subscribed. But if you haven't, please do. Link is in the description. All right. Before we talk Eubank Jr. versus Edgar Berlanga, potentially, I did want to start with a small apology. Isn't always to do, right? Isn't always easy to say sorry. Reason I want to apologize is that I saw a few comments in my most recent video, the video about Usyk versus the kickboxer Rico Verhoeven. And you know what it is, yeah? Obviously, if you followed this channel many moons ago, or maybe even if you followed the channel when I used to be with Ryan called Box Talk, I used to be very different. I was extremely opinionated, like very. I've watched some of those old videos back and I'm like, Jesus, I can never say that anymore. And I guess that's the issue. Obviously now I work for a lot of these broadcasters, a lot of the promoters. So I can't be as opinionated as I once was. It's virtually impossible. Even now, I walk the tightrope. Trust me, like I am on the edge of a cliff sometimes, and it's difficult for me to not give my opinion the way I would like to. It's quite difficult. So it's a very difficult balance, and it's a balance we're trying to do. It's a balance of trying to make sure that I don't go over the edge, and it's also a balance to make sure you guys respect the views that I'm giving. That isn't always easy. So I guess it's an apology because I can't be that guy anymore. That opinionated guy of 4 or 5 years ago, it's impossible. Honestly, it's impossible, guys. And trust me, I've had my hand slapped a few times. It's impossible to do, but I will try my hardest to be as opinionated as I can, like get as close to that edge without falling over. So again, I understand the frustrations of Ade, come on, man, you used to say this, used to say that. Yeah, I work for the broadcaster. I work for the promoters. I work for Turkey. I work for Frank. I work for Eddie. So it is difficult, but it is a balance we're still trying to balance, I guess. All right, let's talk. Hopefully you guys understand that. Let's talk potential showdown over here between Chris Eubank Jr. and Edgar Berlanga. Now, this came to my attention over the weekend. We'll talk about the Navarrete fight. Chris Mannix said that there is a discussion going on, or at least conversations going on, about potential fight between Edgar Berlanga, who hasn't fought since the Hamzah Sheeraz defeat, and obviously Chris Eubank Jr. has not fought since the Conor Benn fight. And I was like, okay, I like that. If Eubank is going to continue, and I had my views on that, I kind of said, okay, there's nothing more for him to aim for, because I just don't think a world title's in sight. But if he wants to continue and have fun fights, this is that, right? This is a fun fight. And both will look at it as a winnable fight. If you're Edgar Berlanga, you'll think that you've got way too much left for for Chris Eubank Jr. You may be too big for him, maybe too fresh, too young, etc. If you're Eubank, a win over Edgar Berlanga opens you up to some big fights. It does. Look what that has done for Hamzah Sheeraz. And the same could be done for Chris Eubank Jr. Edgar Berlanga seems all systems go. If you go to his Twitter page, he's basically almost goading Chris into it. Like, I want that fight. He's even said, I will come to London to fight Chris. It's not like he's trying to get Chris to Queens or to anywhere in America. It's like, I will come to London for that fight. The hurdle, and it's a very big hurdle, is the weight class. Obviously, Chris's last couple of fights have been at 160 with rehydration caps. I think we all saw that Chris looks almost anemic. Like, he looks ridiculous at 160. Even regardless of the weight cap, he still looks ridiculous. He clearly has to go up to super middleweight, which would make sense. According to Chris Mannix, who's obviously got his ear to the ground, he said that Chris's team have asked for this fight, if it were to happen, to be at 164 pounds. No, we're not accepting that. Again, and I said this about Shakur Stevenson. Shakur wanted to fight Ryan at 144. This making up a weight classes needs to stop. It needs to stop. And not only that, but if you're Chris, why would you want to fight at 164? Like, what are we doing? Get to 168. Get to 168. Like, you need, in this latter part of your career, need to be 168 pounds. Like, Edgar Berlanga's thick and stocky, not the biggest 168 pounder. Don't get me wrong, not the smallest either, but he's not the biggest. And so the idea of Chris trying to almost do to him what Ben did to Chris, it kind of blows my mind. Obviously, look, there's no talk of a rehydration cap, but the idea of trying to get Berlanga down to 164 when Berlanga now is most definitely a super middleweight just don't make sense. Just fight at super middleweight. If you guys want to get it on, forget all this. Again, it's becoming frustrating. And it isn't a dig at fighters now, because fighters in the past have done it as well. But this, if you want to fight me, we fight it this way. No. There are weight categories. Pick one and fight at that weight category. And this weight category should be 168 pounds. That's what it should be, right? The almost built-in excuse for Chris losing to Conor, again, it wasn't just the fact that there was this cap, this you can't weigh more than this on fight night. It wasn't just that. It was 160 is killing me. It's killing me. Look at me. I've made it, but I'm half the man I am. Well, 168 is going to be perfect then. You can't then, on your next opportunity, say 164. You can't then. Again, look, this is all from one side. Who knows if this is true? I could have reached out to a member of eEubank's team, but I thought, okay, we'll just talk about it. I would like the fight to happen. I think it's a good fight for Chris. I think it's a good fight if he wants to continue. As I said, I think it's a fun fight, but Edgar Berlanga ain't making 164. He just ain't. And as big as Chris is, Edgar Berlanga's not a small name either. Do you know what I mean? It's not like Chris is trying to get someone over here that isn't a kind of star himself. Edgar Berlanga's got some star power. Sorry to interrupt the video, but this is very important. If you're one of these people that watch the channel and don't hit that subscribe button or forgot to hit that subscribe button, please hit the subscribe button. I am trying to get to 200,000 subscribers and I need you to hit that subscribe button if you haven't already done so. All right, back to the video. Again, I was there for his fight in Queens against Hamzah Sheeraz. There were some other big names on that card, don't get me wrong, but Edgar Berlanga most certainly had the crowd, most certainly, so he can draw as well. All right, what else is there to talk about? Eddie Hearn, next few days are the last to make Virgil Ortiz against Jirenis. I don't know what's going to happen there. I mean, trust me when I say we were this close. Again, I wish I could tell you why I know this, but we were, trust me. And then obviously Oscar De La Hoya came in and put a block on it, basically. It's a bit more... It's a bit more than just a block, but let's just use simple terms, right? I mean, I don't know. I mean, I guess if you're Virgil, you've got another option. Plan B is Xander Zayas, I'm hearing, which is, I mean, might be as big a fight, by the way. When you think of those Puerto Rican-Mexican wars down the years, I mean, the one that springs to mind immediately is Cotto Margarito. That one just stays with me. It haunts me, the first fight. So that's a big fight. That's a big fight as well. And if you're Virgil Ortiz, you're thinking, one second, Xander Zayas is 2 belts. I mean, the fight against Boots is a great fight because I think many in the business think this could be a fight to decide who number 1 is. But ultimately, the winner of this will have no title. I mean, if he were to fight Xander Zayas, he walks away with 2 belts. Let's not forget, Virgil Ortiz has never been a world champion. So he might look at that and think, I'll take that. So he has options. I mean, Boots has options as well, but I think this is Boots' biggest option. I think Virgil maybe has more options. That's just what I think. I was in Derby, never been to Derby. It was at the arena called the Valent. Never been there before. We were there for Owen Cooper versus Konstantin Urso. First time watching this Konstantin Urso live. He's appeared on a few top tier shows. Shout out to Johnny Clark who puts those on. And, you know, out of his own pocket, by the way. Out of his own pocket. That's a whole different discussion. And maybe a private one I should have with Johnny about sort of the alignment or the link up with the zone. Because it's good to see. You almost like, I think smaller shows like that, except that they're feeder shows to Matchroom and Queensberry, but they need to be supported as well. There's been a lot of discussions over the years, right? Especially with the Riyadh season about what's going on with the small hall shows. And there are good fighters in these small hall shows. Like if this was your first time, like it was mine, watching Konstantin Urso, you realize, well, one second, That's a good, slick, big southpaw who's now British, Commonwealth and WBO European champion. And he's basically built his career on these small hall shows. There's talent there that needs to be fed through, but those small hall shows need to be supported, or there is no feeder program. And if there's no feeder program, then where's the next stars coming from? So, yeah. But anyway, look, I was there for that. He looked really good against Owen Cooper. Owen Cooper was good. He was game, but just looked a bit too small. Landed some big shots, but nothing really there. And I think a couple of the scorecards reflected, a couple of the scorecards were 118, 110. But he's now the British champion. There are good fights out there for him. He's got a bit of a following as well. He was born in Moldova. He's been over here in the UK for, I think, 7-8 years, based in Plymouth. But I think they believe, I think the club, by the way, Plymouth Argyle, were backing him. And there's some belief that he could maybe do a stadium fight down there, which sounds wild, right? Having never heard of him. But because there isn't much down there, sometimes you will get that support where you're the only one down there, so everyone will gravitate to you. But there are fights out there for him. Echo Usman was there. Conor Walker's still trying to find an opponent. I know Conor Walker wants to go for world honours, or at least fight in that kind of world mix. He's had the British title already. It might not be a thing for him, but there are some good fights out there for him. So he looked really, really good. All right, let's quickly end on Navarrete beating Sugar Nunes. Not just beating him, destroying him. A lot of people thought this was going to be the fight of the year. That's what it was being sold as, fight of the year. And in the end, it was a one-sided beatdown. Honestly, a one-sided beatdown. So yeah, really good performance from Navarrete. I wouldn't mind seeing the Oshaki Foster fight. It was there, but obviously, look, Raymond Ford wants that fight. But he looked really good, didn't he? He looked really, really good, especially considering he arrived late. I think there was an issue with his visa or his passport or something. But he looked good. He puts the improvements down to the fact he now has a strength and conditioner and a personal trainer. He took the advice of Tim Bradley. At least that's the story, because he never had that before. But yeah, he looked really good. Sugar Nunes will come again, but that was a bit of a beating. It was a bit of a beating, but it was a really good performance from Navarrete. All right, guys, girls, we are done. Again, subscribe to the football channel. Means a lot. Peace and love.